Okay, so my name is Małgorzata Tomal, and together with Agnieszka Sukiennik, we are both from Krakow University of Science and Technology, AGH, it's called AGH in Polish, Krakow in Poland, okay? And we take part in IO1 project, together with the technical universities of Valencia and Poznań. And I just wanted to remind those of you who might not be maybe familiar with this IO1 project. It's a communication course for future engineers, that's the title, and the sections that we are covering is listed here. So maybe you want to have a look at it without me reading them out loud. Those that we are responsible for with my friend Agnieszka are highlighted language of negotiations and health and safety at the workplace. And maybe let me show you while I'm at it, which units I have included in my section of language of negotiations. They are cross-cultural awareness, just a text and some activities connected to it, and then tentative language, diplomatic language, self-assertion, active listening, soft sell, and dealing with objections and bargaining. We are supposed to have 9 parts each. Each section is supposed to include 9 parts, and because tentative language and diplomatic language for me were maybe the most interesting and the most extensive, I divided them into 2 parts, theoretical and practical input. And that's what we are going to be concentrating on today. Let me come back to the agenda. So now that I've made you familiar with our project, maybe if I may ask you for further suggestions what the content should include, okay? So when we come back after the workshop, and if we get some little more time, I will ask you if you think that there is anything to be added to this material. Maybe I may replace still some, because it's a rough version of the materials. And now we are going to break out into breakout rooms, because this is the major part, the core activity I want us to have during this workshop. Because I have only an hour, and I think you will need about a half an hour to go over the materials, and please give me your feedback, okay? I really do count on you, and I really appreciate the way it worked for Deborah and for Goni, and I can't remember the other girl's name from Utah. Yes, from Greece. Is always I think it's an essential part of our working together, that we exchange views. So maybe let's just go on to this part, and I will ask you to open this file when I break you out into breakout rooms. I will do it randomly. There'll be about 4 or 5 people in each room, and if you could concentrate on go over the material that is there, and it's divided into we are going to talk about tentative language and diplomatic language, and in both sections I thought I wouldn't maybe just extract, give you just a little sample of only the activities, because I'm really curious what you think about the theoretical input too. Just let me remind you that this is still unselected, it's quite lengthy, and I realize that it's not supposed to all go in there. So if you could have a look just very briefly at the theoretical input, and then go into those activities and maybe have a look at them really critically, and when we come back, if you could share your thoughts with me, okay? So I'm going to break you out into 4 rooms, and maybe the first 2 rooms, maybe I will say who represents each room, because you will probably not know which room you are, or you will see the number of each room, right? So I will ask you to do it in this way, that rooms 1 and 2 will have a look at tentative language, both parts, and rooms 3 and 4 at diplomatic language. And if you could do it the way that I suggest, that you just browse the theoretical input, just see if you like it at all, and if you could start or maybe concentrate and give most time to the yellow highlighted tasks, okay? Because I would like you to tell me what you think about those activities, if they are maybe not too hard for students who are not into tentative language so much. Our engineering students are, rather not so much into humanities, rather scientifically minded and analytical minded, and not so much into language nuances, okay? So maybe I will stop sharing now.
Gosha, just
Yes.
Maria said she can't find the text she should go through, but I think you have the highlighted sections in room 1 and room 2 in the text. So now that's what we are supposed to look at.
Yes, That's exactly, it's room 1 and 2 will please have a look at tentativeness, and room 3 and 4 at diplomatic language. It's divided, and I think it should be mentioned that it should be room, probably it's only room 1. Yes, that's
Room
the
1
way
and
I
2.
called it. 1 and 2, exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So room 1 is basically rooms. I knew there would be a flop. You know, I knew it. Okay, but let's not maybe concentrate on flops. Okay, so I'm stopping sharing. Okay, and I will break you out into those breakout rooms. Okay, and I will do 4 breakout rooms and recreate them. And what I do is simply press on open all rooms. Yes, Katja?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you have to do. Okay, so you should see the rooms now, and you can go into the rooms.
Right. So maybe, right. Remember that, yes. Okay, everyone is splitting already, so there is nothing to remind them of.
You know, as a co-host, you can go to the different rooms and come back also. So you can go there and see if everybody has found the sections they're supposed to go through. So I can also go, you can go to, I don't know, maybe start with room 1 and 2, and I start with room 3 and 4.
That's right.
And so I can maybe help them if they don't find it. In room 3, anyway, there's my intern. So hopefully they will find what they...
Okay.
And you have Agnieszka in room 3. Is she supposed to participate too?
Yes. I asked her for help just in case anything happens, so she should maybe.
Okay, so I go to room 4 then, because there we have.
So I'm going to room 1. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. See you then. Bye.
See
and you
you.
can come
Bye
back
bye.
anyway. You have to.
Okay, and I didn't tell them how much time they have, right? I wrote it only that it's 35 minutes.
Okay,
but
you told them half an hour, so you said that, so it will be okay.
Right, good. Okay,
but we can send a message. We can send a message, then you have 5 more minutes or something.
Okay,
no
so
problem.
we'll do it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you in a second.
See you.
Okay, so I just came in to be sure that you know what to do. Did you find the text and where you should go? So when you look at the text in the beginning, maybe I can, no, this is not the one. Have to share the right file, of course. So it's mentioned, I have a network problem, I guess. I don't know why, that's strange. Okay, so then you have in the beginning, it's marked unit 1 and 2 and unit 3 and 4, and you're supposed to go to unit 3 and 4. This is where you have to read through and give some feedback. Because I will just maybe some of you, can you find it?
Yes, but I'm not sure I can share my screen. I do have the file, but
yeah, you should be able, because everybody can share the screen, I guess.
Okay.
Is it the link, Katja, that you have sent that we should open? Because actually I do not have it.
Okay, I can send it again. Just a second, because I have a little problem.
Can you see it?
Okay, just let me send. Yeah, we can see it. Yes.
Okay.
But I can send again the file also. Discussion. Okay, so up.
Okay, now I can see it.
Okay, so this is the file, and then yeah, you're supposed to go through unit 3 where you are, and unit 4, because you're room 4, but your room 3 and 4 have to go through the documents in where is mentioned room 2.
Okay.
So yeah, exactly at the right page.
Perfect.
Okay, so I will go to the other room to see if they found it also.
Okay.
How much time do we have?
You have half an hour.
Okay.
And I will send a message, or Gosha will send a message like 5 minutes before the end. So watch the messages. We will tell you 5 minutes more to go. But it's, yeah, now it's 32. Let's say like at 4, we will try to finish so that we can give some feedback and finish on time.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I go to... Vous avez trouvé le document, c'est bon? Oui, c'est le fichier que j'ai envoyé. Et toi, tu es quelle salle? 3. Donc, vous êtes dans Unit 3 and 4. C'est là où c'est marqué Room. No, it's Unit 3 and 4. Ça devrait être jaune. Hein. Attends, je viens. Hello.
Hello.
So you're supposed to work starting from Unit 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but and we've got a problem that we lost the document somehow.
But I found it.
Here
can you see it? Can you see it right now? Yes.
Okay.
Stop. I found it. And
exactly. That's where the page where you should start. So it's Unit 3. You know, you're not Room 2. Of course, you're Room 3, but Room 3 and 4 are supposed to go to the 2 sections 3 and 4. So from here to the end, you should.
Yes. Okay. Good.
I hope you're able to read quickly because you have half an hour to give feedback. So
my God.
Yeah, we try to go back to at 4 to the main room, and so we have a quarter of an hour left to. But you have Agnieszka, so you're with a specialist, so it should be quicker.
Okay, that's good.
Just ask her to do an abstract, but she's got some internet difficulties, maybe.
Yeah, seemed as if.
Agnieszka can. Oh, so she's gone.
No,
okay.
She's gone.
Okay, so and Marlon has some internet problems. Pas de batterie ou quoi? No. Okay, so try. Okay, so he's restarting his computer.
I can read. It's fine.
Ja, okay. Ja, und wenn Agnieszka, ich denke, die wird ja dann gleich wiederkommen, dann
denke ich auch.
Die ist ja mit dran beteiligt, die hat das ja mit aufgebaut, also die kann sie soll eine Zusammenfassung machen, dann geht's schneller.
Dann kann ich ja schon mal lesen und das kriege ich
genau,
dann
alles
warte,
klar.
dass die anderen zurückkommen.
Gut, dann gehe ich noch mal in die anderen Säle, um zu sehen, ob die das Dokument haben, ne? Okay, bis gleich.
Bis gleich.
Ich glaube, peut-être que c'était un problème ici parce que moi, j'ai perdu l'accès aussi au réseau mine, pas à Internet, mais tu vois, normalement, moi, j'ai une licence Word, etc. Et là, il me dit, il a perdu la connexion avec le réseau. Donc, c'est peut-être ça. Ah oui, d'accord. Et floup, il n'y a plus rien. Mais je vois que là, Agnieszka, elle est partie aussi. Mais elle dit, c'est pas grave, elle lit. Ah non, Agnieszka est revenue, c'est bon. Je pense. Moi, je vais voir. Elle est où là? Gosha, elle est là. Peut-être qu'elle est dans la salle, elle sait pas revenir.
No,
yes, I know that.
It's a good point. I think it's really cultural. I mean, the French are pretty direct too. The bad news just goes right out, and smashes you in the face. Whereas I think English speakers, well, Americans and Brits tend to be much more, particularly Brits, much more hedging.
Yes.
I was discussing this just the other day with my husband about doing some chores, and I put it in such a nice way. And he said, "Are you actually asking me to do that or telling me to do it?" Like, well, I'm asking you, but really I'm telling you.
I know. I love English for it. Yes.
There's the changes that they would need to make to these sentences. They can be quite complex. Look at number 4 with tend to. You need,
Et le dernier, ils sont où là? Okay, I just stepped in to be sure that you found the right page. You did, obviously.
Is it a relevant aspect of English to be taught to engineers? Yes. Do we? Yeah, I think it's relative. I just don't know that. I think they would need some more information. No, I'm kind of like Emmanuel. I don't know if I threw this out at my students, they wouldn't understand.
Is it part of cross-cultural topics, or what? I mean, because why just English? Why just English and not all kind of, I don't know, negotiation with Japanese businessmen or American? I don't know. Is this what the context of this type of exercise is? Just why just focusing on English then?
Oh, there are some more questions about this, but in the following units, it's not here. because the other groups have been to the other groups, which have unit 4 and 3 and 4, and then they talk about other cultures too.
Ah, right. Okay.
Okay. So just to tell you, I just want to be sure you had the document, and we will try to be back to the main room, maybe like around 4. So we could get some feedback again and then try to finish on time, more or less, just to give you an idea about the time slot.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Katja.
be back in a second. And I think Gosha and Agnieszka, they will also go through the different rooms if you have any questions then.
Okay, perfect.
Au retour. Donc, je te mets affecté à 3, ouais. Bah, pour moi, en fait, tu es connecté, mais tu n'es pas encore dans la salle. Il mouline là encore? Ah oui, parce que pour moi, tu étais déjà dans la session, je t'ai déjà affecté à la salle 3. D'accord. 3. Donc, normalement, tu es invité à rejoindre la salle 3.
OK.
Et tu me diras si Agnieszka est là, parce que pour moi, elle est là, mais tu peux rejoindre la salle là ou pas? OK. Attends, je vais voir si je peux faire un screenshot. Ah, c'est horrible. Ça, c'est en fait ça, c'est mon truc de menace maintenant. Si tu ne fais pas ce que je veux, je dirais que je vais publier cette photo. Je te l'envoie sur WhatsApp. Quelle horreur. Attends, il faut que je le... Où est-ce qu'il est? Mince. Ah, je l'ai perdu. Et donc, tu y es là? Tu y es? Et Agnieszka y est aussi? Vous êtes tous les 3? Super. Ouais, c'est une abréviation. En fait, les Polonais, ils disent jamais leur nom entier. C'est toujours Malgorzata, c'est Gosha, Katarina, c'est Kasia. Ah, donc, non, Goni, c'est grec en fait. Elle s'appelle vraiment Goni. Non, elle s'appelle Goni vraiment. Elle met toujours Amalia, mais en fait, je pense que ça, c'est parce qu'elle aime peut-être pas Goni, je sais pas, mais elle s'appelle Goni.
Saying to students, just come up with sentences, like not necessarily build a whole presentation, because they won't use those sentences in every sentence, but just say something like prepare the first 30 seconds of a presentation on topics to grab the interest of your listeners.
You know, Jamie, yes, that's what actually happened in reality, because it was so lengthy that we cut it short, and in the end, that's what it boiled down to. But yes, it's better to give them as a guideline already, yes, as an instruction what they are supposed to do.
Okay.
Shall I give them a warning of maybe 2 minutes, Katja?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I told every group that we should try to be back by 4, but if, I don't know if they have finished or not, because your group had the advantage to have you as
that's true.
an abstract.
So I'll give them 3 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think I wrote minutes.
You did in 3.
Did I write minutes? Yes. No, I wrote
in
3.
But I think people will
minutes.
Understand. It's
okay,
not days.
so I'm writing minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they're going to confuse minutes with hours anyway. Maybe seconds.
In 3 years. Please come back in 3 years.
Okay. So, right, we had a very fruitful discussion. And Vinny, thank you so much for this exchange. It was very inspiring and very down to the point, really giving me a lot to think about.
Did we use any tentative language though when we were giving our feedback?
Well,
I didn't notice.
Oh my gosh, how very unconscious speakers and users of tentativeness we are. Yeah. But we are probably automatically being very diplomatic and polite, and
I would say so.
Yes.
Yes.
Maria, are you still teaching? No, you're not teaching anymore. Are you still? Yeah.
Yeah, but only in the second semester.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I have too many hours.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're teaching English only also, no? Yeah. Okay, I see.
English for civil engineering.
Yeah. Okay. You know that we have quite a lot of students from my university, the second one, not Minalbi, but INSA at your university.
Yeah, I know.
Every year, you know, I keep on writing language certificates for Valencia.
Spanish, but we will ask for Spanish level.
Yeah, for sure. That's normal. Both, huh? I think you need Spanish. I'm writing Spanish levels and then also sometimes
Some English.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's nice. We should do a project together as we have such a big, you know, I will try to motivate my English teachers too. They just did a project. They started first project with Thai students because we have a double diploma with technical university also in Thailand. So I think this was really interesting for them because it's such a different culture. But so they, you know, they tested the project and maybe they're ready now to go further. So it could be interesting. I have a very nice colleague, an American colleague, and she thinks she could be interested in exchanging in English.
Yeah. There is a lot going on this blended mobility and contacting colleagues from other universities and other countries and sharing courses. I think this is the future. So this network is also very good for this.
Exactly. Did you apply for one of those blended programs?
There is a new action inside the new Erasmus, which is called BIP, I think.
Yeah.
And then we applied for 5, and you
5?
can move.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but because we have 13 schools, so. But there are, used to be the old intensive programs where you can move students for about 2 weeks, and now you can do another week online, and then would be very interesting. Yeah.
As you are also into
for 5.
I think it's beginning of July that we will know the outcomes of this. This tender,
Yeah, we need to know if we have been awarded the projects and if we have the money for them. Yes.
We also put in no, we didn't, but Kaunas did for us. So you have to be 3, I think. So it's the INSA University, Kaunas, and University in Netherlands in Twente. So hopefully it will work. So I could go to Kaunas finally. I was supposed to go there. I don't know when did we should have met. I think in last year, Jamie, no, in Lithuania last autumn.
Sorry.
There was a meeting planned in last autumn in Kaunas, I think, for our IOs 3, 4, and 7, but of course it didn't work out.
I went to Kaunas briefly before all the lockdowns. I've lost track now, though.
Okay, yeah. So I hope to go there in May if it works, and we will combine it with teaching mobility then, you know, to go there with us along with the students and give some lectures on intercultural management, maybe on the same at the end of the workshop. We will see. So I keep fingers crossed that it will work.
Go see. Do you want us to send it to you or upload it to the chat? How would you prefer? Can I send it to you directly, or because we worked on the document itself?
Wonderful. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much for it. If you could send it to me, please do. Yes.
Since the other people offered to correct some of the text, and I didn't offer that for Goni, I will take the rest of the text that you sent, that we're working on, and I'll add in some ideas. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for it. Oh, I loved your presentation yesterday. Really, your workshop was so great. Thank you so much. It actually inspired me to cut mine short, you know, because I realized, no, it's just that I had twice less time than you did, and I realized that I would never come around to hearing your feedback. So, and this was a crucial thing for me. So you inspired me. It was so well done.
I based mine on who came before with Jamie and John. I was so great. Katja, you did a great job of putting them first, because I thought, let me cut this out. Let me eliminate a little bit of this. The
Same
best
here.
thing is to get feedback. No.
Yes. Okay. So shall we maybe start with the feedback now? Okay. While we are at it. Katja, how much time do we have? 15 minutes, right?
Yes, at least 15 minutes. We can be a bit longer if needed, because we started later.
Right. Okay. So if you could maybe, if we could start with the diplomatic language first, because I visited the group that spoke about tentativeness. So if you could maybe start, because I would really like to use your feedback, you see, for my practical reasons. I want to know what you think of this theoretical input and the activities themselves. Okay. Up, please.
Well, actually, I was together with Batwich and Ken, right, in the room, and we were looking through unit number 3 and 4. And first of all, the third one is done better, because we didn't have enough time for the fourth one. But still, first of all, we like them very much. And well, when it comes to the first one, we are just wondering whether it's devoted for 45 minutes. Can you hear me?
If you could repeat the last sentence, because I think you were cutting a bit.
We were wondering whether this is for 45 minutes class.
No. I have to cut it short for a 45 minutes class, and usually I would take, each section would take an hour and a half. That's how I tested it, and that's how it worked. Yes, I have to select the material I'm going to do it as for a 45 minute class. I'm going to be very selective about those 9 units.
This is, we thought that it could be a little bit long.
Yes.
Just 45 minutes. Otherwise, if everything is okay.
Thank you.
Maybe one more suggestion is
Yes.
that it would be nice if these kind of activities would be proposed for students where you have not homogeneous group, but students from different countries. Then it will be not only from the theoretical point of view, but also from the practical. So maybe it will be a good tip.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And when it comes to the second unit, we were talking about very nice activities and exercises connected with ready phrases and like a glossary of a bank of phrases. And we like this exercise very, very much, right? So this is actually a brief what we're talking about. But Rich and Ken, would you like to add anything?
Thank you, Kasia.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, and I don't have much to add, because we all agreed that it was very interesting, and I was just wondering how I would use this in my classroom, if I can steal it.
Oh, please steal it, please. Like, do anything you want with it, you know. You can cut it, you can turn around it, you can burn it, you can do anything. Please do, go ahead.
Well done.
Well, I think it's very important for the students to learn the differences in registers, and sometimes they don't get the nuances, and it's really interesting. Yeah. Maybe they can have a deeper analysis of their own culture and see how high or low they are. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I particularly like the translation exercise at the end. I mean, the unit 4. So, I mean, it's very difficult to put everything in the absolute scale. But once you translate something, then you can kind of compare, and you kind of automatically know which one is more diplomatic, which one is more polite, and so on. Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe some criticism, please. Maybe something to change, if anything came up. And maybe from tentativeness, if you have something to add from the other group, because I've already listed the suggestions and remarks from room number 1. So maybe room number 2 with some remarks to make.
What do you think? Guni, would you like me to say something, Teresa?
Yes. Do you want to start? And I will add, I don't have because you have the document, I don't have the document with all the stuff we mentioned.
Right. Well, I think in general, it's a lot of really good material. What we're concerned with is the idea that hedging comes from a very basic notion of the hedge, that goes around the edge of the property. And from there, something like beat around the bush. And it's what I explained to the group, that we had this very clear structure of how we wanted to work each of the units. But I'm not sure with something like hedging, you can just go in and say, so students, tell me what hedging is. My students would look at me like I was flipped. Even if they could relate it to a hedgehog, and then maybe from there deduce that it was something about a hedge, I don't know that they would even know what it is. And so we've like I said, we've made some suggestions on the document. I'll send to you, but I would say, maybe even just a general introduction to, warm-up questions. So what do you think is a hedge? What do you think about beat around the bush? If you want to maintain this structure, because what is tentative or hedging language, and how is it useful as a negotiation?
No. No, Deborah, I'm really sorry to say, but my students are so intelligent.
Oh, I'm sure. No, exactly. No,
I'm joking.
You're very lucky. Very, very lucky.
You are, exactly. But even so, I mean, even bringing it kind of down to earth and saying, giving them 2 examples. So the 2 examples that you put were very good. It was very clear. One was very direct, very abrupt, very,
So before I do the warm-up questions, I will do a pre-warm-up question, theoretical input.
Yeah, even as your warm-up question. So of the following sentences, which do you think is more direct and why?
Yes. Nuala suggested that I introduce a cartoon, a little exchange with bubbles and dialogues inside, and I'm definitely going to do that.
Exactly. Because even I teach this in a master's group, and this is what I'm thinking. This is where I tend to teach something with a master's or a PhD group. I start with, okay, so you all know the expression beat around the bush. What does it mean? And then I take them into the hedge, and the typical British countryside, that has these lovely hedges, the hedgehog. Okay, so this is a metaphor.
I know what I'll do. I put in a picture of an English village with thatched roofs and with this hedge around.
And with the hedge, exactly.
Yes, so and I put a hedgehog, which is very diplomatic.
And then in one of the books that I have, they have someone beating around a bush, because all of those for me are metaphorical for this type of language device. So maybe even something like that would help, students maybe like mine, who are like, hedging? What are you talking about today, Deborah? Where are you coming from?
Are you hedging with me now, or what are you saying to me, right?
Yes, I was using that. And then we had a little bit of an issue, at least I did, with the English mentality. So I'm not sure if you're talking about English speakers or as a feature of the English language.
Right.
but English, if you tell me English
speakers mentality. I'm not sure about this myself.
Yeah, so there was that, because we talked a lot, and yes, from yesterday I have the idea of stereotype, and I'm still
I know.
So
I'll just leave it out. But you know, it's so interesting to talk about this, isn't it? I just have to maybe phrase it more tentatively.
Well, and also because you've got a lot of warm-up questions, so maybe take those out. No, decide on 3 or 4 that you think are most relevant for this. But the text we liked, the words that are related, it looked really good. No, a little bit of judgmental there. I wasn't sure if it was judgmental or tentative to not like change your vocabulary, because judgmental has kind of a negative connotation.
Yes.
I don't know. Anything else, girls? Emmanuel?
I think we mentioned the cross-curricular activity as well. It can be used with different kind of cultures as well. As you said, it's not only English speakers, but maybe, I don't know, it could be different for French people, for, I don't know, the different kind of phrases you may use as well. So.
You know, Emmanuel, in this diplomatic language, I have this high context and low context cultures, and we have a division into those cultures in which you use tentativeness. So it's further, maybe it's related to.
Okay.
I think it's an interesting exercise, and I might maybe put in something about how other speakers express themselves, and then talk about how our mentality is connected with, very much entwined with the language that we use, right?
Of course, definitely.
How your language affects your mindset.
Well, also thinking, Garcia, that we have, if this is to be used independently, that might be a really good idea to kind of give them some background before you go into something, and this is pretty high level, I think.
So maybe turn around diplomacy with tentativeness, because I think tentative language is a follow-up of diplomacy. So I might swap them around.
Well, and for the ones who are doing scientific writing, this is fundamental, I would think.
Yes. But then there are too many exercises, like the semi-formal register instead of written formal. So I didn't put in enough of this. I was concentrating on tentativeness in real life situations. And for academics, there's just one little exercise at the end, which I think Ken mentioned. So you have the registers.
I like the idea that Emmanuel was saying about different cultures, and it comes to mind when you put on weight, and an American speaker would never say, "Oh, hey, you put on some kilos there. No, you're getting a little broad there around the backside." But Spanish person, I don't know, Marlon, what would you say that? No, Spanish and Portuguese would probably be like, "Hey, honey, you're hitting it heavy now, right?" And an American speaker would be like, "Oh, you would never say that." No, my mother.
This is so interesting. Gosh, it's wonderfully interesting.
Yes.
But you know what? I think that maybe I shouldn't be saying it, and this is not going to be very diplomatic, but people who are sophisticated users of any language are similarly tentative.
Yes, probably. So it's like with education much more maybe than culture. I don't know. I don't know.
That was a very untentative statement you just.
Yes, it is very judgmental. Yes, I know. Okay, so are we done? Would you like to add something? Anyone else? Would you like to say something? Okay, so thank you very much. I think I'm going to thank you. I have a little picture at the end of my presentation, but let's not bother with it because it's not very sophisticated. It's just a little circle with a smile in it and a big thank you. So thank you so much for all your feedback and your cooperation. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much, because I've never done it in any of my classes. So I think I'll try it. I'll try to do this lesson. I think it's quite interesting. So thank you.
Welcome. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gosha. So and Agnesia. I think it's really nice that we really exchange. We just it's not like a presentation, and but it's really working on it, exchanging, and this is really, really thrilling to see that everybody is into it. So I was more in the logistics for this workshop. Sorry, but I think it's really nice to have these possibilities to explore also for the next semester for all of us in any language. So that's really great. Thank you really again for that. Okay, so I think most of you are tired if you're there from the beginning of the day. So Mimi, if you missed the session, you will find it afterwards on our website. We have to cut it also, of course, to the different in presentations and workshops, etc. But then it will be available on the website if you want to see it again. Or see it if you missed it, for example. So no problem, Mimi, you will have the chance to see it again if you want to. Okay, just let me share my screen for tomorrow's conference day to be sure that you don't get mixed up then. So tomorrow, last day, so it's a bit lighter day, fortunately, because it's Friday also. We only have 2 workshops. We have the second workshop for IO5, the architectural voices. For those who were there, you know that we did the interviews. We should have uploaded them on the Google file, the centers, and tomorrow we go a bit further. If you missed the first workshop, no problem, you can step in also. So if you are interested in that, in the video and podcast interviews, etc., I thought it was really interesting for me to do this interview. So I will definitely try to be there. And then in the afternoon, last workshop, it's ourselves from my Russian partners and me, myself, and also my intern Marlon. We will talk about this global competence through the IT, which in this case is the Global Conversation projects we carried out. The 2 of us, Russians and French students, for quite a while already since the beginning of the project. And last semester we had the chance to have students from Athens and from Croatia also with us. So we'll talk about a bit this, and you will experience yourself. And then Marlon will talk about the serious game we are currently developing. So if you're interested in that, be there also in the afternoon. And we have a little, I don't think it will take half an hour, but just to say that we will say goodbye and tell you a bit what we are going to do maybe in the future, in the next year, which is the last year of our project, and hopefully we'll be able to meet the batch partners already face-to-face, the DELS partners also, and all those who are not in the project actually. We would like to offer you some training sessions also with our developed resources face-to-face also. So we will come back to you with all this.